Hello everyone, good morning. Okay, so in the last session, we have started with defect management, right? So far, we have seen many of the topic, the core topic of software testing. Now it is time to understand again the last topic, that's defect management, like where we have already covered few things, like what exactly defect it is, how many different reasons are there, right? Whenever like what could be the reason, like why the defect raised in the software development life cycle or in this entire process. We have discussed that. If you found any defect, then how exactly you can measure that defect, right? We have some severity and priority to be followed. Even based on the same, how exactly you can maintain your defect report. So in manual testing, if you are working, definitely you can maintain a report either in the Excel or directly with respect to or with the help of certain tool. You can maintain your defect report. So it is time to understand how exactly you can maintain defect report, through the tool. So already we have covered few things from this chapter, like what is a defect. Defect is any flaw in software system where you can see the difference between expected and actual result, and that is called defect. What does error, fault, failure? Guys, error means any action which generates some incorrect result. That is called error. Manifestation of error into the software application, that is called fault. And deviation of that particular software from its expected delivery, that is we can call failure. So we have already discussed the relation between error, fault and failure. Even in ISTQB, the fault is nothing but, defect, and the defect is nothing but bug. Simple. So there are several reasons, okay, because of that we have a defect in the software application. So as a tester, we don't need to blame on any particular phase or any particular, the person. It's all about everybody, those are working in a SDLC process. If they have certain issues with their particular phase, then there could be reason, right? That could be the reason for a defect. Very simple. So if there is a requirement related issues, if there is a design related issues, if there is a development related issues, even tester is also facing certain issues like lack of skill, okay, then definitely there will be defect in the software application. So it's all about related to process. How we can measure the defect? Guys, in two ways, right? Severity as well as priority. Severity always talks about seriousness of that defect on that software application. Do remember this. Severity always talks about seriousness of the defect onto that software application. So it will directly impact on the software. But when it comes to the priority, priority is all about how urgently you guys are able to fix that defect. That's called defect priority. Correct now? Even we have noticed that severity is always responsibility of a QA team, right? QA team tester, they can define how much application or how much that defect is severe for the application. But the priority always defined by the developer and respective team. Are you getting my point? So here the BA person, other stakeholders, those people are also involved who will define the particular priority, like when to fix that particular defect. But this is important. Even we have discussed about certain examples, like how you can decide that what could be the severe defect, what could be the, low defect or something like that. So we have four levels here. Okay, very high, we can say critical one. If core functionality is not working, let's say server degradation or somewhere issues related to software, that software is getting crash, hang, any serious impact or any serious defect, that you can measure as a very high or critical. Then when you can say high severity defect, if functionality is not working at all, okay, if functionality is not working at all, then you can decide high severity defect. Even what is medium? If functionality is working with some disturbance, then you can define that defect is a medium defect. And what does mean by low? Low means any kind of cosmetic problem, any kind of look and feel issues, those are called low priority defect. I mean low severity defect. So severity, we are having four levels. But when we talk about priority, only three levels. High priority, that's urgently fix, immediately fix. Second, you'll be getting that medium. If time permit, definitely fix. But maybe not today, but we can fix it tomorrow, right? With some time period. Even third is what? Whenever all the severe defect get fixed, then we can concentrate on the low priority defect. Okay. So this is very famous interview question. People might ask you, okay, either they will give you certain scenario and they will ask you, what is the severity and priority for this scenario? Or they might ask you direct example that can you give any example for high severity and the low priority? In that case, you need to think the proper scenarios. And based on that, you need to answer. So these things we have covered in the last session. Even we have discussed about defect reporting, how we can maintain the report. So guys, manually also we have covered this part, how we can maintain the report. We have followed this particular template where the defect ID is important, test case ID, okay, the origin, birthplace of the defect. You need to mention in a short, that's a summary. When you write in the description, the proper description, where you need to mention expected result, actual result too. Then you can write severity, priority, and the reproducible yes or no. Okay, reproducible yes or no. That you can also define. Event status and the screenshot. This is how you need to mention your defect report. Correct? Let me make the changes here. It's reproducible. Okay. Yes or no. Let me save it. Done. This is how you need to complete your defect report. And now today, this is the time to understand about the status. What does new means? Basically, when you found any new defect, you can just mention status as a new, right? But now it is time to understand complete defect life cycle. How exactly or what is the lifespan for any particular defect? And this is again very famous interview question. Explain defect life cycle, okay, through which you will understand the lifespan for a particular defect. To remember, every team member is involved, like tester team, development team, okay, those are involved in this entire process. So what happened? Initially, whenever you found a defect, you will always mention that defect status is a new, right? So this is a new status. Whenever defect, you mention the defect, you report it to the higher authority. Very first review happen at the testing site. So in that review, if it is really mentioned that yes, defect is a valid defect, then it will directly get opened by the higher authority. To remember, after after opening the defect, then the defect will be simple review by the developer side. So here is a complete review process which is done by the developer side. What the developer will check that, is it really defect is a valid one? If the same defect is the same defect reported by any other tester, then it will be duplicate and they will simple close the cycle, right? In that case, if the defect, it's just a hardware issue, it's not exactly defect, it is just an environment issue, then they will mention not a defect as a status. This is not a defect. And for duplicate and not a defect, they will close the entire life cycle. Okay. So they will close the entire life cycle because that defect is not a valid defect. Very simple. There might be possibility. Defect is a valid. Okay. Defect is a valid. But it is part of the next release. It is not required to fix in the current release. So if any valid defect, which is not important to fix in the current release, then such a defect called deferred state. Okay. So deferred is a defect, which is a valid defect, but we can fix it where? In the next release. That you need to understand. We can fix it in the next release. But then what if any defect is a valid? If any defect is a valid defect, such a valid defect, developer will assign to any developer person for a fixing, right? For a fixing purpose. So that defect get assigned to the developer team or respective developer for a fixing purpose. After assigning the defect, developer has to fix it. Definitely then status will be fixed. But after fixed, we need to retest it. We need to make sure that defect is really fixed by the developer team or not. And for that reason, guys, we do always retesting. As per the ISTQB, it's called confirmation testing. To remember, this is called confirmation testing. And here, this is not a phase. So I'm just going to draw it in the form of ellipse because this is not a phase, right? It is just a process. Review is a process. Retesting, confirmation testing, it is a process. But what happens? If defect is properly fixed, yes, retesting is successful, then we can close it. If it is properly fixed. But there might be possibility. If any defect is not get properly fixed by the developer team and it is noticed by the tester during the retesting process, then they can directly reject the fix, right? So reject the fix, and here this is the status. And after rejecting the fix, again it has to reopen in the same life cycle. Are you getting my point? Again it will be reopened, again it will be reviewed, again it is a valid one only. So they might assign. So here we can say already we have assigned, right? So this phase is what? It's a reassign. So same defect will be reassigned to the developer for again fixing purpose. And the life cycle will continue till the defect get closed. Are you getting my point? This is how you need to understand the process, how exactly the life cycle is executing. One more time I'm repeating, everybody focus. At the beginning, when you found a defect, status will be new. Some defect will be opened by the higher authority. Then it get reviewed by the developer team and the other team member like BA and all, right? They are available over there. If the defect is already reported by some any other tester, then it could be duplicate defect, and then the life cycle directly get closed. If defect is any kind of environment issue, hardware issue, right? In that case, they can simple define not a defect and they can close the cycle. But if defect is a valid one, but it is not part of this release, then we can fix it in next release. Then status will be deferred. After that, what happen if defect is a valid? With developer, they can simple assign to the specific developer for fixing purpose. Then the status will be assigned, and then after assign, developer has to fix the defect. So status will be fixed. After fix, there is a retesting process. In retesting, if you are notice that okay, fine, developer has fixed the defect properly, then we can close the cycle. But if defect is not properly fixed, then we can reject the fix and same defect reopen in the same cycle, and after that it will be reassigned to the developer again for a fixing purpose. So basically the life cycle will continue till the defect get closed. But guys, one more step. Whenever there are changes in the entire software life cycle or in the entire software application, or that could be any change, even smaller change also might impact on other functionalities of the software. And for that reason, here we need to go for regression test. Regression where we can check side effect of the fixing. In regression testing, again, if you notice any new defect, then we can reopen that defect in the new cycle. Do remember that. So in regression testing, if you notice any defect, again that defect will be reopened as a new. Okay. This is how the process goes on, and this life cycle is called, defect life cycle. Very famous, very popular interview question. What is defect life cycle? And this is how you need to answer. So please have a notice one more time. What is defect life cycle? Here you can check that all the white color boxes, these are just a process. Okay. It is just a process. But rest of the part called status, defect status. And in the defect report, okay, these status get updated. Do remember. So very first you'll be getting new, then it will open. After review, if it is same defect reported by any other tester, then it will be duplicate. Not a defect. If the defect is not a defect, it's really some any other issue, environment issue. If defect is a valid, then it will be simply deferred, or it is not a part of same release, then it will be deferred. And we can fix it in next release. Okay. After that, if defect is valid, then we can assign it to the developer. Developer fix it. After fixing, we can again do retesting. If it is properly fixed, close the cycle. If it is not, then reject the fix. And then same defect will be reopened in the same cycle till it get closed. But after close, we always go for regression test. And whatever defect you will found, we can reopen in the other cycle again by having a status new. And this life cycle is called defect life cycle. Correct? Now guys, again along with the defect life cycle, we need to understand how we can manage the entire defect process. See, primary goal of testing is what? To prevent the defect, right? There should not be any defect in the software application. And for that reason, we always follow certain best practices. Like testing should start right from the requirement, testing should continue till the release, right? Starting from the early phase, we are trying to prevent the defect only. We are trying to review each and every phase, each and every document, so that one defect or the related defects of that one defect should not notice in the later phases of development. So that's the reason testing is an integral part of the development cycle, right? Similarly, the primary goal, that is preventing a defect, defect management, that's also integral part of this entire development process. So as much as possible, we can automate this process. Yes, possible. But how exactly the process manage? We need to understand that thing. So defect information should be used for a process improvement, guys. Okay. How exactly we can improve the process? Let's see. Primary goal to prevent the defect. Then for every phase, we need to make sure that deliverable are baseline. So deliverable means all the document coming from every phase of the development cycle. And we need to make sure that it is baseline, right? It is stable. After that, we can identify the defect. We can fix the defect from the developer team. So we need to prepare a report and we need to pass it to the developer, and then developer fix it. So after defect resolution, whatever, the process or whatever steps you have noticed, those reports we can use for a process improvement for a next cycle. So everywhere, basically what is happen in every entire process, we have a management. We have a reporting to the management, right? So management is actually involved. And for that reason, defect management, it is nothing but where exactly you are going to manage your defect, how the defect gets simply reviewed by the higher authority, and how the process goes on to fix that particular defect. And after fixing, whatever reports you will generate or whatever information you will get, right? Those details you can follow to improve the process. Okay, so this is how we do defect management. Again, guys, we can maintain a defect in the Excel sheet or you can directly follow the tool. But not only for management, tool we follow for tracking purpose also. Let's say, what is defect tracking? So defect tracking and management, these two important steps. Okay. Tracking is nothing but the complete life cycle you need to track, starting from new to close. How the defect goes and how defect exactly close, right? Every status you need to track. So tracking is again important part of the software testing service provided by every software development team. So defect tracking, it is a process of tracking details of all the defect in the product from beginning to the close. Very simple. From the new status to close status, we simply track the defect. And what are the features, guys? Definitely, while tracking the defect, first of all, you need to understand what project it is, project role, project different users, right? We have to add the defect. Then we have to change, allow status change of the defect by authorized person. Then we have a email communication and then various summary report of that defect analysis we can generate. Basically here, the steps are mentioned as per the automation process. Means these steps are mentioned as per the process that we can follow inside it too. Very first, you will be working as a tester. So creation of project, creation of team member or your roles, responsibilities, that is not your work. Okay. You can directly report a defect into that particular tool. But very first, what is your role? You need to understand the whole process. Correct. So basically for defect tracking, there are a variety of tools available in the market. Every organization, they might have their own tools also, and they can use their own tools also to automate this entire process. Usually, we don't need to learn any programming language here because these tool comes under management tool. Every tool which comes under management, it is both based on certain process. And for that reason, you don't need to learn any programming here. But what is important is we need to understand how we can track the defect. How any defect simple get start with a new status and how exactly it get closed. This entire process important to know. Correct now? And see, there are a lot of tools available in the market. The popular one, Bugzilla. Okay. Nowadays, which is very much popular. That's the Jira tool, which is completely based on agile methodology. Mantis, it's also defect management tool. Quality Center, the latest name is ALM, Application Lifecycle Management. Clear, Rational Clear Quest, IBM tool, right? So there are many tools. Few tools are open source, few tools are licensed, and few tools have a both facility. They are, you can simple use for some time period as a free tool. After that, you can purchase a license. So defect tracking, it's all about process of track the defect from status new till close. And how exactly you will understand this? To understand this, we need to understand the tool and their entire process. So first of all, let me finish this entire module and then we'll start with the Jira tool. I'll show you even in Mantis also how you can maintain a defect report and how you can use a Jira tool. I will be showing you both. Okay. So here, this entire process, like these are the interview questions related to this topic that you need to prepare. Now we have already seen manually how we can maintain the defect report. Now it is time to understand with the help of tool. So guys, let me show you how you can simple start practical on the same. So we have already prepared this application. We have tested SwagLab application and even we have found out of 12 test cases only 2 defects. And these 2 defects we have already maintained in this Excel sheet as a defect report. Now it is time to understand through the tool how you can log the same. And see here you will understand the beauty that every tool is different, their process is different, their entire look and feel and the template formats are also different. Okay. For example, if you really want to check with the Mantis, you can just use here, just write here, Mantis Hub. Okay. And you will get this site, mantishub.com. When you open this, it's a free again. Okay. It's a free tool. And there you can, they might ask you for the initial, okay, just for a trial. They might ask you for sign up. So go for it. Click on sign up page. Here you can mention the sign up details. For example, I will be writing now. Let's say, let me just write base tech and okay, any detail you can write for now, no issues. I'm writing my details as it is and just kindly change. Let me change my password to. Let me select and let me sign in. Okay, so it's a free again, guys. So you can just create your account and you can use it. And see, this is purely defect management tool, defect tracking tool, where you can understand the full life cycle also, right? So absolutely to run this whole life cycle, we need a team. We need a developer team. We need a tester team, right? So I will be not maintaining any team. Through my account only, I will be showing you the whole process. Even when you log in into Mantis, see, I have just done sign up, right? When you complete your sign up, you will be working in this particular tool as an administrator. Current your role is what? It's an administrator. Even you can create a different roles here in this particular tool. But again, for that, you need to set up your email IDs and all because you will get the email notification for the same, right? So better, I'm using the same account, administrator role, and I will be showing you the whole process. Initially, you can see this is your dashboard, okay? Where you can see the information, you'll be getting something like this, like whatever assigned to you, okay? Assigned to you or any unresolved defect, you will get it here in this section. Any unassignee or anything which is reported by you, anything which is resolved, recently modified, or whatever monitored by you also, those detail you will be getting in the dashboard. This is your view. Even if you are a new for Mantis, they have already given their video, YouTube video, I guess. You can just play it and check the whole process, what Mantis it is and how we can use it. Okay. Even here they have mentioned all the steps. If you really want to create a project, you can follow this step. If you really want to go to the new category, follow your step. If you really want to defect, I mean, prepare your defect report, follow these steps. So they have already mentioned, okay, everything here. If you really want to invite a team, you can follow this step. But I will be not using any team and nothing, right? I will be showing you everything with my account only. And here you can see that. Just a minute. Let me scroll down and see. This is how the Mantis dashboard it is. Let's start. So how we can start, guys? See, there are different sections. Okay, my views or view issues, report issue, create a or change a log, roadmap, summary, and the manage. First of all, I want to create a project. Without a project, you cannot start any process. So let me go to manage directly. I'll go to the manage, and under manage, you will get this user section where you can create a different number of users for your project. See, currently there is only one user. Okay, so if you really want to create any another user, you can do that. Let me show you. Suppose I'm creating one more user. Let me create Sarah. Okay, real name it's a Sarah. Okay, let me write Sarah, or I will be writing developer name. I mean here username as a developer. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm just writing username developer. Real name is Sarang. Email ID I'm just mentioning for now my email ID. I don't know it will accept or not, but still I'm writing the same. Access level, yes, he is a developer. Okay, consider. And it's not protected. Again, I'm using and just creating a project. See, I'm getting that error, right? Email ID is already registered. So it's very secure. Fine. I'll just change it. For now, I will be just writing any sample. Okay, sarang@gmail.com. That's it. And let's do create a new user. So you can see my user is ready, right? And here you can change the access permission to that particular user. Okay. Suppose you want to define something like default project, any other things, right? You can set up here. Fine, but we don't need to do that. So currently, if I just click on users, now you can see there are two users available. One is the admin, second is a developer. Now I will go to the project and see by default there is a my project available. Let me create a new project. I'm just giving a name. This time it is a Swag Labs. Okay. And then guys, under development or it is release or stable. What do you think? Or obsolete. So you need to define here particular current state. So consider our project is under development only, and we notice while testing only we notice any defect. How exactly we are fixing it. So currently project is, under development. So description, I'm just writing this is this is let's say e-commerce application. That's it. And I will be adding this project. Okay, fine. So Agla project is ready. Now, if you really want to add a category for your project, you can add that. Currently, I'm writing it's a web application. Let me add a category. Okay, done. So our project is ready. Our users also ready. Now what I'll do, I'll just go back to main topic, how we can log a defect. So we have this option to be followed. Okay. For the same project, I will be logging now defect. If I just go to report issue, just have a look. Under report issue, first it will ask me, select your project. So I will select my project now. It's a Swag Lab. I want to make it default for now for this complete cycle. So I will just make it default, and then you can complete your process. Okay, so select project completion. When you click, now it is simply navigating to this template. And see guys, this is your template where you can log your defect. So currently guys, what we have noticed in the Excel, how many parameters are important here? We should have defect ID, test case ID, summary, description. Under description, you can mention expected actual result, right? Severity, priority, reproducible, yes or no, status, and somewhere we can do some attachment too. Like your screenshots also you can attach. So these are the fields should be there in the template. And now you can see the template which is provided by the Mantis. Very first, it is asking you category of the defect, right? Severity, priority, assigned to whom, right? Summary, description. See the mandatory fields. Even attach tag. If you really want to define any tag, you want to upload any file, add a screenshots and all, you can simple add it here. So how simple template it is, correct? And see the beauty. By default, it will be new, guys. When you create this report, by default, it will be new. So let me show you. Currently, category I have written, it's a web application category, correct? Severity for a defect. Okay, so first mention the defect. What defect it is? Suppose I'm writing all items, okay, all items, option is not working. Okay, I have mentioned this defect. Based on that, we have defined certain severity and the priority to be covered. But see here, if I click on severity, I'm getting lot of, different status here. So in general, in theory, what we have learned, very high, high severity, medium, and the low. That is enough. But here you can define based on the functionality. Currently, my link is there. That option is there, all item. But that link is not clickable. It's not working at all. So you can define it's a feature related defect, trivial, or it is a text, tweak, minor, major, crash, or block. I'll say it is a major functionality, right? It's not a minor one, but it is a important feature or important, we can say it has a simply high impact on the software application. So I will say it is a major defect, high defect, because my functionality is not working. What could be the priority? See, none, low, normal, high, urgent, immediate. What else said? We cannot write urgent and immediate. High also we cannot define. So we can define, yes, it's a normal. Okay, so we can fix it as per the time. Medium priority, we can say. Okay, assign to whom? So I will be for now assigning to the developer because we have a developer with us. So I'm just assigning directly to the developer. Okay. After that, we need to mention here description. Now, guys, let me tell you, description means this complete description you need to write. Okay, starting from the entire information, like what is happening, even expected actual also, you can mention in this description. So let me write as it is. Even I'm just writing this expected and actual result too in my template. So let me write expected and this is what actual. Okay, just for a complete understanding of that defect, you can mention this is how the complete description you can mention about that defect. Okay, so I have mentioned entire description for that defect. And then what we can do after this, we can scroll down. If you really want to define any tag, we can. Currently, I haven't mentioned any tag. If you really want to upload any file, right? What exactly defect it is? See, currently it is directly taking. But I'll do what? I'll just copy this, right? And I'll just come back to the tool and let me add this particular, you know, file. Okay, so here it is not accepting. I'll do one thing. I'll directly go back and this is a file which can I do directly? Yeah, here you can see that. I have attached that image. Okay, remove the file. Only one file I have attached. Okay, and this is I'm making it public so that everybody can observe. And that's it. So you can see, guys, I have just mentioned some detail about the defect, what type of defect it is, the category, it's a web application category, severity, priority assigned to, summary, description, and the screenshot also I have attached, and now I'm going to submit it. Okay. When you submit this defect, now you can see your defect is ready. I mean, report is ready. Automatically ID will generate for that defect. So I'm getting defect ID is 10 like 01. Project name is, category is public. And when the defect is submitted, updated, everything you will get it. Who is the assignee? Developer is the assignee. Correct? And even all these things, and see, currently status is what? It is already assigned. And resolution type is what? By default, you are getting it is now open. So initially it is a new, and where you can see that, see here. Initially it is a new, and now we are going to already open this defect. If you really want to check that, the whole process, here you can see that. This is the best part. So current status is new. New to do what? It is directly assigned. Assigned to whom? Developer. Whatever step you will do on this defect, by default, you will be able to see here entire history for that particular defect. So guys, it's very simple how we can maintain a defect. This is how you can maintain a defect. Correct? So one defect is assigned. If I just go back to my view, just have a look. Here I'm getting this defect reported by me. So I'm able to see here. Okay, all item option is not working. Here you can see again, recently modify the same defect. And again in the timeline, you will able to see the whole process. What is happened? Who initiated the defect and who is assigned to whom? That entire detail you are able to observe in the mantis, right? And see, as soon as the defect get updated, okay, so as soon as whenever you go to the defect and whenever defect get updated, then automatically you will see that life cycle too. Example C, if I go back to defect again, currently it is in the state of assign and it is in the state of open, right? Then here we can change the status. So what we can do, we can again edit the same defect. Here I can change the status to what? Now suppose after defect fix it, okay, developer will simple define that, okay, I have resolved this particular defect. Whenever developer define the defect is resolved, in that case they can mention here the complete node. Okay, so example, developers define defect is fixed, consider defect is fixed. And in that case, whenever they will update the process, here you can see the life cycle got again updated. Now assign the developer and developer got simply resolved. After resolve, we can go for the retesting. Correct now? So current issue, which is under in the form of what? It is under a simple form of, fixed. But we can make a change again. We can resolve or we can edit it and we can retest it. For retesting, we have a confirm. Confirm, this is what? A complete status where you can check that whether defect is properly fixed. So here we do confirm. Yes, as a tester, I will be adding the note. Suppose tester define defect is fixed. Okay, fixed properly. Done. Whenever you will update, let me save it again. Let me update it again. So defect is properly fixed now. And after fix that particular status, now we can close the life cycle too. So here we can directly close that entire life cycle. So whenever I mention it's close, right? We can edit also. And finally from here also we can close it. So here we can close that entire process. And here I can add the note, okay, defect is closed, done. And let me update. So whatever life cycle you are following, right, consider it's working in the real time, then absolutely the developer will do certain tasks to fix it. But for now, suppose defect is fixed, consider, then here, this is how you are going to update a life cycle. So you can see new to assign, again assign to resolve, after resolve to confirm, confirm to close. This is how the entire life cycle we follow. And see, whenever any defect get closed, automatically you will see one line over there on that defect. Why? Because it is now closed completely. And then you can go to the summary and you can check the status. Here you can see complete defect, total defect is 1 and that is resolved. So I'm getting here complete status that it is 100% resolved that particular defect, right? And now there is no reopen or no open defect available in that particular cycle. We have already closed it. And this is how you can check in the my view also. Now entire defect get closed and recently modified. So for last 30 days, whatever tasks you have completed, that you can track it here. So everybody clear how exactly the process goes on in the real time? So we have to submit it, defect report to the developer side. Then developer fix it. And after fixing again, we can reopen, we can update, or we can properly test it whether it is fixed or not. And based on your status, you can update within a tool. So this is how the tool process that we follow to track any defect. And here you can go and directly check the entire tracking process too. If you just click on that defect, you will able to see that the whole process of tracking. If I click on that defect, see, here I'm able to see that complete tracking process. Okay, so history also you can observe. And this is called complete defect tracking and defect management within a tool. But I have shown you with the help of Mantis, right? Now it is time to understand using Jira. So Mantis is another tool that you can follow for a practice purpose. But let me show you. In the real time, we always follow Jira, right? And Jira is a like very popular tool. Many of the organizations, they are following Jira only. So it is very important to know about Jira. So guys, first of all, what Jira tool it is? Okay, Jira is not only defect management or defect tracking tool. Jira is a completely issue tracking tool. Okay, Jira we actually follow for multiple purpose, not only for one purpose, right? So it is time to understand about a Jira. So I'll show you one small slide and then we will talk about this complete process practically. So what Jira it is and how we can work with this particular tool. So first of all, it is time to start with Jira tool and what Jira it is. So guys, let's understand Jira. It is a complete project management, issue tracking, bug tracking for agile software and business team. And Jira is made by Atlassian, which is an Australian organization. Do remember that. So Jira is a very popular tool through which we can do lot of things, even not only this much, but we are able to do test management too, right? Test management, test case preparation with the help of Zephyr plugin, it's possible to, implement inside a Jira. But it is actually implemented as a project management tool, defect tracking tool, or a issue tracking tool. So what is meaning of defect or issue? See, in IT, every task, every task is considered as an issue. Do remember, it doesn't mean only defect. Okay. Issue means any particular task which requires some subsequent action by the human, that is called issue. So suppose example, tomorrow you want to apply for a leave. That's again what? You are creating your ticket, you are raising a ticket, you are creating one issue. So issue tracking doesn't mean only related to the defects or something related to software. It is all about the overall process, time management, everything we guys are able to do with the help of Jira tool. And that's the reason it is very, very popular. Jira is not only used in the software development testing or for related to only software engineering process. Jira is also used in other sections too, right? So for coding, development, for customer support, everything we can follow Jira too. So it is very popular. Few things. See why Jira? Because absolutely everything, whatever you need to manage your projects team, everything you can manage with the help of Jira. Jira is a fully customizable to your need. Even there are a lot of plugins available, add-ons available that you can follow, okay, to complete that task. So all the features which makes our task easy or our life easy, that's available in Jira. So Jira is a very popular tool. What else? Now here you can see the different products, whatever provided by the Jira. And instead of this, okay, I can show you directly the live products which are available for now. So if you just go for Jira download, okay, just go for this option. Then you will able to see this Atlassian.com. Just go to the official website and there you can find out this Jira software. Okay. If you go to this, then you are getting this way, right? Again, what exactly now it is mentioned that it is asking us for, okay, other process. I'll do one thing. I'll again search for, because I want to show you the main site. So let me again show you Jira download. Okay. And if I go to, okay, Atlassian Jira download Jira from Atlassian data center. Or yeah, let's go for this site. I want to show you, yes, all the products. And here you can see all the products. So guys, just have a look. In Jira, the latest, these are the products available, right? Jira software, which we are going to use for a complete cycle. Even you can see these are the other softwares product available. Even, if you can go to the view all products, you will able to see this. See, these are the products which are supported by Jira, right? Even for collaboration, even for code build and shipment, right? We have Bamboo, which is very popular, like a GitHub, right? So we have a Bamboo and all. So these are very popular tools that is supported by Jira. And see, so which we are going to use? We are going to use Jira software. Okay, so when you go to Jira software, there we can simple follow the entire process. Okay, so I'll show you the practical for complete agile, like let's say how we can create a backlog. Actually, that's not your responsibility, but still how the process goes on. Okay, how the BA team or the product owner simple maintain the backlog, how the scrum master initiate the sprint, right? All these things will be learning from the Jira. So we need this site to be followed. Okay, just properly select the site, because previously site you can see this is how you are getting, right? And instead of this, like if I click here, it is just navigating to somewhere else. So better you can use or follow this site. Okay, Jira software or Jira at Atlassian.com software under Jira. this site you need to follow properly, then only you are able to see the different products, and even you can simple start your practical with the Jira from this official web page. Okay, now guys, what is next? So see, so there are many different products for different categories are available. We'll be following this one, Jira software for project and issue tracking. Now, Jira used for what? As I told you, Jira is a completely based on Agile. Then if there is a question, which Agile methodology used by the Jira? So absolutely every methodology used by the Jira. Okay, almost like Scrum is a very popular that we are going to learn, but there is a Kanban, mixed methodologies, Agile scale, everything followed by the Jira. So Jira is a software which is an agile project management tool only. So that support any agile methodology, right? Whatever you are using in your current organization. We are going to understand the complete process through the Scrum because that we have covered in the theory too. And that's most popular, which you need to understand. So as per the Scrum, I will be covering the topic. Okay. Now, what are the basic questions? See, what is Jira? So Jira is a very simple, it's a issue tracking, defect management, project management tool. Very simple. Is it a web based? Absolutely, it is a web based. Is it open source? Yes, it is open source tool. Even Jira is a licensed tool also. Basically, Jira available in two flavor. One is open source. Yes, because when you log in, for I think minimum 20 days or 14 days you can access a Jira, okay, without any cost. Later on you need to simple pay. Again, you can have a cloud version too, that's what open source version. And we have a license version where you need to pay, and that's not again your responsibility because it's a organizational level. They can pay and they can access Jira and they can customize Jira as per their business process. So it is very popular. It is a web base. Web base means what? If any tool is a web base, that means the tool you have to open within a browser only. That is called web based tool. Okay. Then, is it a licensed product? Yes, just now I have mentioned Jira is a licensed one also. Whose product is Jira? So Jira is made by Atlassian. You remember that. So Jira, with the help of Jira, you can do lot of things. You can prioritize, assign, tracking, reporting, audit your issues from the software bug, and the help desk ticket also you can manage. Project tasks, change requests you can manage through the Jira. Everything. Okay, issue doesn't mean only software bug. Everything we can manage through the Jira. More than just issue tracker, it is an extensible platform that you can customize to match your business process. As I mentioned, many organizations following Jira because they are able to customize the Jira as per their own business process. So Jira improve productivity by cutting down on time based on the tracking the issues. If you are doing tracking manually, it might take lot of time to track the whole issues. But if you are using with the help of tool, it is quite easy. So Jira also improve the quality, guys, right? Because all the tasks, everything, whatever you complete within a tool, you guys are able to record it. Basically tracking, history maintain, right? Everything happen. And even the best part is you will get reporting automatically. Whatever task you will complete within a Jira, you will able to see reporting for the same. So what you need to understand, Jira is a one software package which we can use for multiple purpose. Bug tracking, change request tracking, help desk support, customer services, everything we can manage, project management, task tracking, requirement management, process business flow management. It is also possible with the help of Jira. So it is very popular. Guys, these are the different features. Jira is a very secure, we can say again it is we are able to track the whole process, right? Usable. Many people, technical people, business people, they are able to use the Jira very interactively and very easily, right? Even administration flow, or it is all about the the process of the whole entire things, business process and the process of defect reporting, everything we can easily manage through the Jira. It is extensible because lot of plugins, add-ons available. And first of all, it is a open source, right? We have open API where you can access at least all the basic features of Jira. Later on, you can purchase it and you can customize Jira as per your business need. But current, whatever features are there, those features are we can access freely. So these are the different features of Jira available. Along with that, what you need to understand, how the process we can begin. Very first, guys, you need to start with the project. Without project, you cannot continue your work. Either you can implement certain components, you can define certain versions, and then main topic is you have to raise the issue. You can log a issue inside a Jira, but what issue? How many different issue types are there available in the Jira? That is important to know. As per the template, in Jira, we have multiple templates available. Like only for defect tracking, defect management, we can use defect template. If you really want to follow the complete Scrum process, you can have a Scrum template also available. Kanban template, right? And in every template, few issue types are very, very common. But how many issue types you should know? And what are the issue types? Let's understand that first. So guys, issue, as I mentioned, any task which require action from a person, that's called issue. Workflow, it's nothing but the process again. Whatever process you guys are following to complete that step, that's called workflow. Like for defect reporting or defect tracking, first of all, defect should be new, then it will be open, it will in the progress. When it get resolved, we can close the cycle. Otherwise, we can reopen it. So that's what a complete process. Fields means what? These are the attributes of that issue that can be standard or you can customize the same. So there are different types of issues available in Jira, and that's again a very famous interview question. So what is issue? Issue means any task within a IT or inside a IT, whatever task you will complete, that's called issue. But see, in terms of Jira, Jira teams uses issue to track individual piece of work that must be completed. Depending on how your team uses Jira, issue could represent any project task, help desk ticket, or any leave request form, etc. So for what purpose you are using Jira, based on that issue types can be different or issue could be different. In Jira software, issue typically represent the thing like big feature, requirement, or any software bug. Now guys, if you remember during the theory, we have discussed certain terminology. Like in Agile, any big issue or any big thing, any big requirement, we can define in the form of epic. Epic is what? It's called big story. Very simple. It's called big story, which we can design, or just to implement that story, we can divide it into multiple chunks of user story, and then we can simply fulfill that particular story. That's called epic. So epic is what? It is just a big story. User requirement in terms of agile, again, it is called story. To remember, software bug, yes, we have, which is we can call defect or any bug, right? But guys, let's understand. As per the process, there are different issue types available. We are learning in terms of software. So we have to understand these issue types. Subtask, somewhere bug, epic, improvement, new feature, story, and the task. So let's begin with the epic. What epic it is? It is a big story that need to be broken down and that you can implement or simple uh, broken down into multiple story and you can achieve it. That is called epic. Story, it's all about requirement, guys. Okay, user story just a requirement. To achieve any epic and story, we have to follow certain tasks. Task is nothing but that need to be done to achieve the team goal. So you are tester, you are reviewing the particular document, you are preparing test cases, you are executing test cases. That is what your task. Clear. Let's say test design is your task, but under that task, you might have some subtasks. Creation of scenarios, creation of test cases, reports and all. So we can say those are subtasks. Easy. Then somewhere what we need to do, we need to add some new feature as per the requirement of the customer into software. Then it goes to the new feature. Improvement, something we are updating. Any existing feature or task we are updating, that's what improvement. And the bug means what? Any kind of defect, guys. Simple. A problem that impairs or prevent the function of the product, that is called bug. So simple. Any software issue, any software glitch, if you notice, you can raise as a bug. Inside that particular tool, you can mention as a bug. Even I will be showing you Zephyr plugin where you will understand how to manage test cases within a Jira. So there you will get this test type of issue also. So issue types is related to your work, related to your process, and for what purpose you are using tool. Based on that, you will get a different issue type. But do remember at least these issue type: epic, story, task, subtask, bug, test, any new improvement or new feature. At least these issue types you need to remember, which are very common. Okay. So Jira for Scrum, for what purpose we are using? Instead of learning here, let's start with practical. So very first guys, what you need to do? See, we are a new user, right? So when you go to this site, you need to just click on this option, get it free. Okay. Either here or here, you can click on get it free. When you click on this option, it will navigate to this page where it is asking you to do sign up. Guys, I will suggest without creating new email ID and password, just to sign up with this particular sites. Example, Google, Microsoft, right? Whatever account you have, you can follow the same. I'm using my Google account. So it is asking me, okay, the account email ID. Let me select the same. Already I'm logged in, so it will accept that and it will sign up. Yes. Now it is asking me, already the sign up is done, and now it is asking me, enter your site name. So currently I'm writing here, automation, March 24. Guys, you can write any name. Fine. I'm just giving your batch code, automation March 24, Atlassian.net, and you can just agree and start it now. So here you have to mention any site name. So it will create your profile on that particular URL, whatever URL you have written. And see, it is now asking me, select your template for a first project. So by default, Kanban, Scrum, other templates also available. If I just go to next one, okay, we can select template, because if you just go to next one, now it is asking us, okay. See, by default, it is directly selecting, okay. So I will be not following this step. Let me just take it as it is, and we will create a separate project with the defect template. So I'll show you two different projects, okay. So for now, just continue. And let's see which template by default it has selected. So it's very simple step. Okay, great. Okay, so by default it has selected Kanban, okay, which I don't need. So I'll do one thing. I'll just, I'll just, okay, I'm just selecting this and I will create a new project. Okay, just come inside a Jira, and then you can go to the project and you can select here. See, I'm going to create my own project. Okay. Now here it will ask you which project. It's based on IT service management, or you want to create something related to general, right? So I will just go to project template, and here you can see we have a different templates available, right? Guys, just focus. There are different templates available. So I'll go to the complete again product Jira software. Okay, when you go to Jira software, and you can see there are list of templates available. So this is what I want, bug tracking. Okay, we are learning Jira with respect to bug tracking. So I'm going to use this one. So let me select bug tracking. I'll say use template, and then it will ask me project name. So let me give a name. Here I will be writing Swag Lab March 24, and let me create my project. Very simple. So later on you can follow these steps and you can create your project, okay, inside a Jira after observing the recording. And you can see we need this one. This is what our main template. So guys, I have created my Swag Lab Match 24 project, which is a bug tracking project. And you can see by default, you are getting all the issues template. I mean, entire issues you can observe here. See all issue, open issue, reported by me, or all the completed issue, recently updated, modified, right? We can observe here. But there is no issue. for this time, like in this project, there is no issue. If I go to the back to the project, you can see the options. What you are getting? You are getting reports. By default, everything will be empty, correct? You are getting development phase here and just project setting. So we don't have by default test case writing or some other options here. Okay, but we can follow the complete life cycle, and then we can, complete process we can understand. If you're using just bug tracking, you can open this, you can directly log your defect and you can complete the process. But I will try to show you, okay, I'm trying to show you the whole process inside a Jira that you can follow, starting from the epic till closure of that defect, everything. So like test case design, execution, defect reporting, all the steps we need to understand. Okay. So here, how we can begin with the process. Very first, to like we have a project for now, but we don't have a requirement, right? So we should have something which is called epic, a big story. Under that, you should have some stories. And then we should maintain a backlog. If you remember a complete agile process, complete scrum process, then we should have a backlog. Here you can see I am not able to see any backlog, right? Here we need to start, we need to understand how the scrum master begins the process. Okay, begins the process of what? Sprint. How they initiate a sprint. We need to understand that whole process. And for that reason, okay, we are learning this practical point. So currently I have just created a project. So in this project, I want to add a epic. But before epic, I would like to show you your entire backlog. Okay, where you can have a backlog. So guys, for that, we need to create a scrum board. If you have a scrum board in a project, you will be able to create a backlog and you are able to see the sprint, everything. So currently you can see under here, under planning, you will get a board. Option is board. You can just click over there and it is asking you. By default, you have a Kanban board, but we don't need it. We need a scrum. So I will go to this new option, create a board. When you go to create board, it will ask you which board. I am selecting yes, create a scrum board. Now it is asking board created with new or board creating with existing project. I want to create a board with the existing project. And then I will go to what? This next option. What is a board name? So let me write. This is Swag Lab board name. Okay. Which project? Select your project here. So currently I'm having this project, Swag Lab. Okay. Location also by default it will take. And let's create a board. That's it. So we are creating a board with this same project and now you can see these options. This is what product backlog. Even from Jira, you will get a quick start guideline. Okay, if you are completely new, follow this guideline. Guideline will help you for every step. They will guide you. Okay, what is this, and where to click next. Okay, so you can follow this quick start too. Currently, I'm hiding that. We don't need. Okay, let's see. So this is your backlog. See, there is backlog is empty. There is no issue. Now tell me the Scrum process. If you remember, in theory, we have explained, I have covered agile methodology, right? What is agile and how agile works? If you remember, in agile or in entire Scrum process, we have three phases. What is our phase number one? Phase number one, it's all about product backlog creation. So guys, who is responsible to create a backlog? It's a responsibility of a product owner to remember. Product owner takes all the requirement from the customer and owner will prepare one separate backlog, right? Inside this backlog, which is called storage, where he can maintain all the epic as well as all the story, correct? All the user stories and epic is a part of this particular backlog. Let me write epic and story. So whenever backlog is ready, the phase number two will begin. In phase number two, agile team is responsible to make certain planning. What kind of planning, guys? They do release planning and they do sprint plan. Do remember. Inside a release planning, they will define the complete, deadline for completing this entire project. Let's say if there are 30 user stories available, then 30 stories within how much time we are going to implement that they will make it in the form of release planning. Let's say we have 3 month duration to complete this task. Then they will go for sprint plan. Sprint planning means they will decide number of iteration. For every iteration in Agile, we have a fixed time period. Nowadays, it is totally customized. See, some applications we need frequent update. Okay, frequent update, hourly basis, frequent update as per the day basis, right? So we can now customize also. So sprint is nothing but iteration where we have a duration like 1 week to complete 4 week, right? 1 week to 4 week is the complete duration we have where we can implement the software within that time period, right? And that's called sprint planning. Again, guys, once this planning is completed, then Scrum Master comes into the picture. Who is the responsible? I mean, what is the responsibility of a Scrum Master? He's the main entity who can drive the entire agile process, right? So all the decisions, even sprint or sprint initiation process, right? How much stories we need to actually implement within a sprint based on the customer priority, based on the story point decided by the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master focus on the priority of the customer. Even Scrum Master, check the story point which required to complete that story. And based on that, Scrum Master prepare sprint backlog. Whenever sprint backlog, it's a backlog where all the committed stories you will get. So out of 30, suppose 5 stories are only committed. For those committed stories, you will get this backlog. And for those stories, developer tester, they need to work. So whenever sprint backlog is ready, here actually developer and tester, they will begin their work. What they do, guys, very first they will assign the task. To remember, they will assign the task, they will complete the task as per their assignment, and finally they are able to track and even they are able to update a status. Okay, status to whom? Absolutely Scrum Master. So after this whole process, okay, the last phase, phase number 3, it's all about retrospective review. Retrospective review means here they can have a review on a whole process for every sprint, and this is actually task they follow for process improvement. Correct? So guys, these things we have learned already in the theory. Now it is time to understand implementation of the same cycle. So currently you can see I'm here. This is my product backlog inside a Jira. The backlog, as I mentioned already, we don't have a team member here. I will be covering the practical only with the one user, right? For that reason, you need to understand whose responsibility it is and how that user will work. So very first product owner is responsible to maintain a backlog. So absolutely, product owner need to add some epic, certain story within a backlog, correct? Once the backlog is ready, then the Scrum Master, they can start the sprint. Okay, so here you can find out the option, create sprint. Whatever sprint it is, how much responsibility of a developer, tester, and how much they have completed. How exactly we can track even every team member within a project, how they can track. So we have active sprint. In active sprint, you will get this 3 column, to do, in progress, and the done. Even you can customize this as per the business workflow. But for now, this is a basic, correct? So here, everybody within a team, even developer, tester, they can track each other work through this particular template. Okay. So currently I'm getting everything blank because there is no backlog yet ready. We need to understand how the owner will maintain the backlog. And for this, I would like to show you in the real time how the stories and everything they will prepare, how the backlog get maintained, and what exactly they will maintain in the backlog. So let me show you one template where you will understand the process of Jira and process of user story too. So first of all, I will be showing you, okay, certain steps. Just a minute. Let me just select here user story. Yeah. Guys, very first user story. You can see this is a pattern available for user story. Okay. in Agile, how they maintain a user story with these three different steps. As a user, you need to define which user it is. It's a technical one, any developer, tester, client, end user, or it could be anything. So normally, as per the end user perspective, we can design a story. So as a user, I want and what goal you want to achieve. For what purpose you are implementing the software or implementing that feature, we can mention that. So functionality that end user expect basically from the application that we can mention. So that it defines the benefit, expected result, right? What end user will get from the developed functionality that you can mention in this particular third step. So usually, just to show you like how they have maintained a swag lab or any kind of backlog. So let me show you the backlog process, guys. If I just open swag lab backlog, you can see Epic is a big story, right? So currently I have mentioned very simple story for an e-commerce application. Okay, design for an e-commerce domain, design and develop swag lab application where user can do login, search product and buy the product. Okay, so how simple the process I have mentioned here. Okay, just a minute. E-commerce. Let me write properly. E-commerce, right? And let me save. So backlog is what? This is how the Excel backlog we can say. Under one epic, you can see there are suppose three stories. And what stories I have mentioned? Okay, user should be able to log in, log out, and inventory. So let's see. As a first time visitor to the Swag Lab, okay, I want to log in into application so that I can use the application feature. That's it. So expected is what new user should be logged in into application. So as a user, I want to log out from the application so that I can log out from the application, right? So user should get valid credential for login and the same user, okay, uses some features of the application and after that user can simple perform logout. Correct? Similarly, inventory. So as a standard user, I want to have a search product, even or that feature available in the software, or I want to click on add to cart button so that product should be added into the cart. And this is how user should be able to add a product into cart. So this pattern is actually followed by the product owner to implement any epic or story. This is very standard pattern. Okay. Even I have prepared something for CRM application. Okay. So I will be sharing this document where you will understand different examples, what product backlog it is, and how exactly we can maintain that product backlog. Okay. For Orange HRM, Swag Lab, CRM, many applications I have prepared here. So this is how you need to first of all implement your backlog. Okay. So for now, same backlog we are going to implement inside a Jira also. So consider what I will write. I will go to the Jira. I want to create first epic, right? As per the template, you will be able to see the issues. So where you can see that and how we can create any issue. It could be epic, story, anything. So guys, you have to use this option, create. When you click on create, you can see by default in this window what I'm getting. Let me use OK. And if I expand it, just have a look. By default, I'm getting it's a bug. Why bug? Because I'm getting it's a bug tracking template, right? So by default issue type, I'm getting bug. But I want to show you the whole process. So I'm selecting very first Epic and see it is a bug template so where you can't create directly story. Epic you have, but you can't directly implement story. So I'm getting different options here. For now, just to show you the whole process, I will be selecting as a story. That's my new feature of the application with respect to this option, new feature. Okay. So let me first create my epic. So I have selected issue type for a project. That's the epic. Status is what? Absolutely currently it is a to do status. Okay. What is the summary? Let me write here now summary for a epic. Suppose I'm maintaining here epic 1 and this is I'm writing. Okay. Design and develop. Okay. Design, comma, develop and test. Okay. Login with inventory feature. Currently, I'm just taking two. Okay. Inventory feature of Swag Lab. Okay. Done. Now, is it really want to select any parent issue? So currently I'm not selecting anything, any component. Okay, we haven't added any component till yet in the project, which you can add, but I'm not selecting anything now. And let me just enter here the description. Okay, so here I'm writing the same description. Let's say design, develop and test Swag Lab login and inventory module. Okay, fine. I'm writing just description. So it's very simple step I have written here, but technically or practically in the real time, people simply the teams are involved, BA team, developer, tester, everybody. They have a proper brainstorm on that particular story or particular, epic. And then finally they will maintain the description. For now, I have just written a very simple state. Okay, that's okay. Because we are just understanding the process. Currently, you can see reported my name you are getting. Priority currently here you can define the priority. I'm selecting high priority. Label if you want to add. Yes, I'm doing currently manual testing. So let me create my label. It's a manual testing. Done. And then you can select that label too. Again, guys, estimation. Yeah, the timing. Okay, how much time you need to complete this process. We can calculate estimation also. But for now, I will be not changing estimation. I'm not selecting anything. Okay, so just start. Let's say, suppose due date, we can select the date on which date we are going to complete this process and all. So I will be selecting tomorrow. Okay, due date is what? Tomorrow's date. Okay. And currently issue type, you can see linked issue type. There are many types available, but it is not linked to any other. It's a new. So I'm not selecting anything here. Again, select issue. You can see there is nothing to select. Currently, I'm just doing assign it to me only so that I can see all the detail in my template. Okay. So I'm just creating this way. So guys, for Epic, I have just fill up this particular point. You can see Epic name and the description, right? And this is how I'm going to create this Epic. That's it, just to create. And see, I'm getting that Swag Lab 1, which is created, where you can see this information. So either you can click on this link, right? That by default, you can just click on this link or view issues. You will able to see that Epic 1, which is ready. See, I'm getting that. Epic 1, design, develop, test, login with inventory feature of Swag Lab. That's it. Here you can see some other details also. Guys, at the right hand side, you can see, okay, there are many other fields available. Suppose for this Epic, as a scrum master, if you really want to define some story points, okay, so I'm just writing 2 days enough. So that story point you can mention, estimation you can mention, time tracking also you can do, right? Many things you can do. And this is how you can simple make some changes. So currently I'm not doing other changes, but basic changes we can simple have with this particular feature. So my Epic 1 is ready, right? Here you can see the entire detail of my Epic. If I again go to the backlog, okay. So under backlog, now Epic is ready. But we need to add certain stories for the Epic so that we can maintain inside a backlog. Okay, so in the backlog also you can see, okay, this is how you are able to see only the empty backlog. But I would like to add everything here. Under Epic, you will able to see that Epic 1 is ready, right? So there is a Epic, but we need to add certain issues related to that Epic. Means story. So currently I want to have only login and inventory. Okay, let's see how to add it. Just go to create again. As I mentioned, this is not a Scrum template, defect tracking template. So you will not have a story as a direct issue type. It is a defect tracking, so I'm just adding new feature. Consider I'm just adding new feature. What is the summary? Let me write design and test login. Okay, login feature. Fine. So I'm writing a very simple step, design and create login feature. That's it. And let me just scroll down some other things, like we don't need to select any parent, or here I'm writing my story, which I can directly copy paste now. So yes, for login, I need this one, right? Okay, so I will just copy and I will add it here in the description. That's okay. And then you can scroll down. Again, I'm selecting the priority, which is a high priority. Label, I'm selecting manual testing. And then you can select here the select due date. Yes, I'm selecting tomorrow's date. select issue. So guys, currently I'm selecting this is related to Epic, right? So I am linking this issue with the Epic one. Okay, please understand. Again, I'm doing assign it to me. That's it. Issue you need to create and that you need to link to the same Epic. That's it. And then you can click on create. See, first issue created. So you are able to see under a backlog. And this is automatically IDs get maintained by the Jira. Let me create one more issue as a new feature. Again, I'm writing design and test inventory. Okay, feature. That's it. Let me again do the same thing. Description, I will add again from here. Okay. Let me select the priority. It's high priority. Label is manual testing. I will scroll down, link this issue. I'm linking with the same epic. I'm selecting tomorrow's due date again. And let me do assign it to me. And then I will click on create. So I have added two issues. I want to start my sprint based on the two issues, guys. Okay. So product backlog is ready. Consider for now my backlog is ready. But for this backlog, without sprint, developer tester, they cannot start their work. Are you getting my point? They need to do first assigning the task. After assigning, they are going to track it and complete their work. But to do so, we should have a sprint also. So Scrum Master, how the Scrum Master create a sprint? See, either as per the feature or currently these both features available or important for sprint one. Developer, I mean Scrum Master use this option, create a sprint. So you can see one more a view you are getting here in the same page. So here you can see backlog and here you can see sprint. How you can add issues to the sprint. Guys, it's very simple. Just drag and drop. See, I'm just dragging first issue and drop here. Second issue and drop here. Got it? My two issues I have added inside the sprint. And then Scrum Master will initiate the sprint. Okay, the sprint one, I'm taking the same name. See here the duration. Now I don't want 1 week, 2 week, 3 week or 4 week. I will be customizing it. So I'm starting today, but I'm ending on what? I will be selecting directly tomorrow's date. So now we can customize too. Remember, okay, we can customize this whole process. And I'll say quality product. That's our common goal. Very simple. And I will start this sprint. As soon as sprint got started, you will able to see here inside this tracking board. So guys, currently active sprint. I'm in the active sprint window and where I can see two features, two stories are available. Correct? Where the developer tester has to start their work. But the next process, how they will assign the task, how you will able to see the task under every story and how they are able to complete and achieve this particular target. We will see this remaining process tomorrow. What you need to do is today, create your account inside a Jira, create your epic, create your two stories like me, start the sprint and just come to this window. Okay. Till this, whatever process I have shown you, you need to complete this whole process practically. So guys, I hope whatever I have shown you today with the Mantis and the Jira, it's clear to everybody. Yes. Are you understanding? We are learning as per the theory practical part. So it is quite easy to understand manual testing too, right? How exactly we are working in the real time. So this is how we are working in the real time. This is how the tasks we are completing in the real time. Yes. And kindly relate the topic. Okay. Every manual testing topic, it's a theory only. But if I just cover only theory, you will not understand anything. So like a theory or along with the theory, kindly relate the topic. Okay, how exactly the process goes on, which task and whose responsibility it is. So currently I'm not taking any team, unnecessary different emails and all. I'm just showing you with a one user how to complete that whole process. So remaining process we will see tomorrow. Complete this practical for now. And even once you create your account, kindly save that entire URL. So let me copy and let me do save it. I will be following the flow and here I will be saving it. Okay, done for your batch. Fine. So tomorrow we will see the remaining flow, remaining topics which we need to complete. So guys, so far we have seen this. We have created a users. I mean, it's optional, but we have created a project, created a board, backlog is ready, epic is ready, stories are ready, right? And we have created sprint, and we have added that sprint also. I mean, started that sprint also. So 9 tasks we have completed today, right? These 9 tasks. Tomorrow we will see the remaining. How to create a story. I mean, how to add a task to the story, developer and tester work, even generating report, Zephyr plugin through which how you can add a test cases and everything. We will see it tomorrow. Okay. So I will share this document, everything with you, but for now, just complete the practical work. Okay, that's it. So let's stop the today's session. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. Take care. We will continue rest of the topics tomorrow.